Now, I just showed you how you can improve most iPhone photos if you simply try taking them from a lower angle. And while it's always a great idea to try taking your shots from a lower angle, there are times when you simply have no alternative options. For example, whenever you're taking photos of small subjects, such as children, pets, or plants, you really have no choice but to get down to their level. Let me show you why that's so important. I want to take a photo of my baby daughter who's playing right here on the blanket. And if I do it like a typical person would do it, then I'd be standing up. But the problem is that while I'm standing up, no matter what I do or which way I go, I cannot really take a beautiful photo. The baby literally disappears into the background, the image looks flat and lifeless, and it just does not look right. But let me show you what happens when I get down to her height. I'm going to start by placing the iPhone directly on the blanket for improved stability. Next, I'm going to swipe my finger horizontally across the screen from right to left to switch to the portrait mode. Now, if your iPhone does not support the portrait mode, that's okay, you don't have to use it. But in case you do have the portrait mode, it's perfect for shots like this. Inside the portrait mode, I'm going to switch from natural light to studio light. And again, if you don't have that option, don't worry. And now I'm ready to take photos. And I'm going to take several photos so I can choose the best one later, but you can already see how much better these photos look. And that's because I took the time to get down to the level of my subject. So whenever you're shooting photos of small subjects such as children, pets, or plants, always get down to the height of your subject and your photos will end up so much better. Now, shooting from a low angle works great if you have interesting subjects to take photos of. But what if you're all by yourself and there's just nothing to take a picture of? Well, I understand you may feel that way, but in reality, that's just never the case because there are beautiful photo opportunities all around you. And as a photographer, your job is to learn how to recognize them. So let me give you a quick example. Right now, I'm standing next to this tiny garden that's located just outside my apartment building. And the garden doesn't look that special. But in this tiny area alone, there are hundreds and hundreds of great photo opportunities. And your job is to learn how to recognize them. And the easiest way to do that is to get really close to the subjects and to capture them in such a way that people have never seen before. So let me show you what I mean. I want to take a photo of this plant down here, but obviously I cannot do a good job if I'm standing up. So I'm going to have to start by getting down. Then, to get closer to the plant, I'm going to switch to the telephoto lens of my iPhone. And to do that, I'm going to tap on the circular icon on the screen that says 1x. And now, you'll see that I'm much closer. It now says 2x, and that means that the telephoto lens is on. Now, if your iPhone does not have two lenses, that's all right. Just shoot with the only lens that you have. And now, I'm ready to start taking shots. But if you look at the screen, you'll see that there's a bit of a problem. There's a lot of chaos on the frame, and I can't really find a nice photo unless I find a way to find order in the chaos. So to do that, there are two things I could try. One option is to just pick one of the leaves and try to isolate that leaf from the background and make that the subject of my photo, like I'm doing it right now. And if I can do a good job with isolating just one leaf, I have a good shot of taking a beautiful photo. Or the other option, which is even more interesting, is to try to find a repeated pattern in the leaves where similar elements are repeated next to each other. And if I can do that, then that can end up being a really interesting and really unique shot. So to make sure the focus is right, I'm going to tap my finger on the closest of the leaves to set focus there, and I'll go ahead and take a picture. Now, these are just two examples of the kind of photos I can take of this plant. And if you have the patience, you could probably find a dozen interesting shots in just this one plant. And there are a lot of plants around. This time, I'm shooting a different plant, but the story is really the same. This plant, as a whole, does not make a good iPhone photo, simply because there's too much going on in the frame. But if I can instead get really close to just a tiny part of the plant. And if I can separate that part from the background, I'll be able to take a really beautiful photo. And in a big plant like this, there are probably dozens of photo opportunities I could find. So the point I'm trying to make is that there are great photo opportunities all around you. And as a photographer, your job is to learn how to find them. So the next time you run out of ideas for iPhone photography, try to get really close to your subjects, even ordinary subjects such as garden plants. See if you can find any interesting or unique or beautiful details, and these small details will often make the best iPhone photos. Now, as you can see from everything I just shared, taking photos with the iPhone seems really simple on the surface. But when you start digging deeper, it's really not that simple. There are so many iPhone photography tricks and techniques that you probably don't know about, and I could only share a handful of them in a short video like this. And to make things worse, it's not enough to simply learn all the different iPhone camera tricks. You also have to understand how to use each one of them in different photography scenarios. We're talking about different light conditions, different photography subjects, and even different genres and styles of photography. Now, here's the good news. Once you really understand iPhone photography, you'll be taking the kind of photos that nobody will even believe were taken with the iPhone. And that's why I created iPhone Photo Academy, which is an online course teaching you everything there's to know about iPhone photography. So right next to this video, you'll find more information about my full iPhone Photo Academy course. If you'd like to use your iPhone to take stunning photos that you'll be proud to look at many years later, and if you'd like to do it without having to carry your bulky camera, then please take a look at my full iPhone Photo Academy course. There's more information right next to this video, so take a look, and I really hope to see you there.